Okay guys, let's roll. As usual, no script. This is going to be all over the place, so you'll have to bear with me, but you will learn about something. What are we going to be talking about? We're going to be talking about bonds, specifically Israeli bonds. So what is a bond? Hold on, I'll tell you now in a minute. Tell you now in a minute? Just watch this.
Whenever I bring up the fact that our infrastructure is falling apart and it's Israel's fault, everybody goes, "Oh, you just want to blame the Jews." All right, sit down and let me show you how it goes. Everybody knows about the federal funding we give Israel, yeah? And the country, America as a whole, gives federal funding. Every state in this country gives funding to Israel. Almost every city in every state gives funding to Israel. San Marcos, tiny little city in Texas, was going through its budget because they had a bunch of potholes. Because San Marcos went through their budget and said, wait a second, why are we giving $4.4 million to, we're a tiny city, to Israel? We have potholes, people can't even drive. So the city, the residents voted, we don't want to give them any money. Guess what old Governor Wheelchair Abbott said? Came rolling through, said if you do that, you are not going to get any funding from the state or any of your federal funding. So yes, I am sure that Israel is a vassal state and we are just willingly doing it. Whenever
You know, I'll tell you about the bonds now in a second. Over in America, the American public are getting wise to how much control Israel has over their government, how much money it's extorting from them every year in money and weapons, all paid for by the American taxpayer. Yeah. They don't like it. 70% of them are now against the war in Iran and fighting wars for Israel. They've lost too many soldiers, haven't they, over the decades fighting wars for Israel, and they're getting wise to it. And now they're getting wise to what that comedian, what's her name, Leonidas or something, what she just said. They're getting wise to it. So I thought I'd go and have a look about these bonds. Well, what is a bond? All a bond is really is an IOU. Individuals, organizations, countries, institutions, charities can all take out Israeli bonds. And a bond is just literally an IOU. So effectively you give money to the state of Israel and they agree to pay it back sometime down the road. Different terms, you can have 2 years, 15 years, 25 years. Yeah. And they pay interest. You agree the interest. This can range from 2.5% up to about 5%, depending on the length of the term. Anyhow, if you have a look at this information on the screen here, you can just see some of the states I've found that are lending money to Israel, taxpayers' money to Israel. See there, Florida 350 million at state level, Texas 280 million, Palm Beach County holds over 1 billion, New York 267, Ohio 260 million, Arkansas 105, Pennsylvania. That is the tip of the iceberg. Yeah. All over America, small towns, cities, all giving money to Israel. Well, what's the problem? They pay it back, don't they? Well, there are problems. I'll come to them now in a moment. There are two types of the way bonds are paid out. Yeah, there's the fixed rate bonds, pay interest every May. And then there's the saving bonds. And this is how Israel normally does it. They normally roll up the interest and pay both the principal and interest at maturity. Yeah. Well, the problem is, where is the problem? Well, towns and cities need money. Yeah. And I was thinking about this. Why are they on about if they get their money back? So I asked, does inflation have an effect on bonds? Yes, inflation definitely affects bonds. A bond usually pays a fixed amount of interest. And there it gives an example. You buy a bond for 10,000, it pays 5% interest, so you get 500 a year. If inflation is 2%, that looks quite decent. You're still making 3%. If inflation jumps to 8%, your $500 interest is no longer keeping up with the rising cost of inflation. And this is what happens with most of the Israeli bonds. Inflation eats the real value of the bonds. Yeah. Okay. Well, there is a problem with that, isn't it? And this is why people are asking, when the money comes back, what will it actually be worth? Right. And here's the important bit. If public bodies, pension funds, counters or sitters are buying them, they may be able to say, we got our money back with interest, but the public should still ask, did that investment beat inflation? Because if it did not, then in real terms, the money may have shrunk. And they've been asking, why aren't we spending our money on our infrastructure now at today's prices rather than say 15 years when the money we get back will be less value to have the work done then, and the work that needs doing now is going to cost more in the future. So you can see here are the current interest rates. You can see what the problem is, yeah? So if any of those bonds that people are holding for Israel, which are paying 2.5%, they're already losing money. And these are people's pension funds. These are schools, charities, and the money, it's like one big laundering scheme, isn't it? As the UK invested in Israeli bonds, they were, not so much now, or at least not that I could find. But there now, you can see the problem, can't you, with the bonds. Let's go back to here. Pause.